and then
you want to get into it?
And then we'll just see how we go after that.
I'm Kieran Read. This is my top 6 moments. My Test debut versus Scotland, Murrayfield, November 2008. My debut obviously is such a massive dream for any Kiwi kid to get to the All Blacks, and for me it was just a dream come true. I'm so proud to represent all the people who had got me to this moment from when I was younger.
Back in field to Kieran Read. Read looking around at his leisure for supporting players, man Nonu.
To then having my parents in the stand was a really proud moment as well. It was a step up like anything I'd played before. It was just an amazing game to be involved in, and really just thought, man, I want to do this again and again. My next moment is my 100th Test versus the Lions in 2017. Obviously a very special moment to become the 7th All Black to make 100 Tests, and so it was amazing to join that exclusive group. The game was obviously a draw at the end of the day and we drew the series, but man, it was just special to run out that many times for the All Blacks and have all my family and friends who had got me there in the stands, so great day. My next moment is the Rugby World Cup final from 2011 here at Eden Park, New Zealand. Just an immense occasion, having the entire country supporting us. Felt like there was 5 million people in Eden Park that day, until everyone went quiet with about 20-30 minutes to go and it was silent. Everyone was holding their breath. But to get through that game, it was epic. It was such a close game, and Beaver slotting the goal. It was a wicked time, and lift the trophy at the end of it. My next moment comes from Ellis Park in South Africa, 2013. The Rugby Championship was on the line for both teams could win it. So it was an epic game. I think both teams probably maybe scored 4 or 5 tries each, and we managed to get them over the line. And just the effort it takes and requires to perform at altitude in Johannesburg is an effort, and the crowd and the history of that place. And one of those great moments in the jersey. My next moment comes from the World Cup in 2015, Twickenham semi-final versus South Africa. We'd come off the quarter-final where we'd just pumped France and come into the semi-final as kind of favourites. The game was close, it was drizzly, it was wet, and one of those battles against South Africa we always have, which was really tight. And distinctly remember one moment, Sam Whitelock gets up and steals the ball from Victor Matfield. Desi kicks us down the right end of the field and we close out the game. For me, that was an epic moment, one of the best times in the jersey. My next moment comes from 2010, game in the Tri-Nations versus South Africa at Eden Park. It comes with a bit of a story. We'd lost to South Africa 3 times the year before, and this was the first game we're playing in that year. And so, rightly so, we'd done a lot of homework, we'd done a lot of analysing, and I was pumped up to play. It was kind of I made my second start against the Springboks. Just remember it being an epic game. It was massive, the intensity was right up there. Felt like I played really well as well, and kind of arrived as a number 8 in the All Black jersey.
Hi, my name is Sam Kane, and this is my top 6. My first moment, without doubt, has to be my All Black debut. I was 20 years old, playing Ireland down in Christchurch. I knew I was probably only there to be learning, but in the first game, Victor Vito got injured, and then in the second game, Kieran Read had concussion, and at half-time, I was just about to head back onto the reserves bench, and they said, you're on. So I remember standing up there at the kick-off as the whistle blew. I knew, in that moment, I'm an All Black now. Always kept in my mind that you're not an All Black until you play a game, so it was nice to be named in the squad, but my real goal was to get out there on the field, and despite everything that was going on, that time stopped for a sec, and I thought, yeah, here we go, and got into it.
As the ball is turned away for Kane, and here is the young fella with his first touch in Test rugby. 5 out.
Yeah, no, there wasn't nerves, it was just excitement and youthful confidence.
Very good tackle by Kane, and looks like it might be turned over.
It was an awesome game, very close. Dan Carter ended up putting a drop kick over with a couple of minutes to go.
Another drop kick coming up on the left boot this time, and he gets it through Dan Carter, and they win the Test match.
Yeah, looking back on it now, it's cool to see us look a lot younger, probably about 5 or 6 kilos lighter. My next moment is probably being part of the 2015 Rugby World Cup squad. Although I only got on the field right at the last minute of this game, it was the World Cup final, and just being there live in that moment when Ben Smith kicked the ball through and Bodie Barrett chased after it and scored under the post. I think everyone knows the moment.
This is Beauden Barrett, control this, and the cup is his.
But it was in that moment I knew that we were going to win the Rugby World Cup.
And it's history, confirmed. Back-to-back World Cups.
Although I only played a small part on the field, just knowing that I was a part of a very special team that had just achieved something incredible, yeah, that's another top moment for me. My next moment is probably my favourite try that I've scored for the All Blacks. We were playing the Aussies at Eden Park. It was an afternoon test, which was just awesome. The crowd was packed out. It's not very often we get to play afternoon footy, especially at home in New Zealand. Patrick Tuipulotu sort of popped the ball over to me. There was one Aussie defender coming across on an angle and I just sort of swerved on his inside. I don't normally have sort of great footwork in those instances, but managed to sneak through and run sort of 20 odd metres to score under the post.
Sam Cane scores!
To be able to score at home as skipper was pretty cool. My next moment is certainly a proud one, but probably one of the most satisfying wins I've had in the All Blacks jersey. 2022, as an All Blacks team, we're under a bit of pressure. We'd lost a few games in a row and we were playing South Africa at Ellis Park, pretty formidable opponent in their backyard. We had to win, so we're under a huge amount of pressure going in. It was just an incredible game. We went out there and despite everything, all the outside noise, we narrowed our focus in and managed to get a really memorable victory.
Popped away for Jordan. Will Jordan gives the pass off and the skipper has scored. Sam Cane's in.
You will not see any better than that.
Yeah, I think the combination of the build-up of the last month or so to playing what I consider one of the biggest challenges in world rugby, playing the Springboks at Ellis Park and to come away with a win. There's just so much riding on that game and a really proud moment for me and the team. My next moment is one that I don't look back on really fondly, but it's certainly been a defining moment in my career, and that was playing the Springboks in Pretoria. I fractured my neck in that game.
Sam Cane and receiving attention there, looking in a lot of discomfort.
And it was just a little bit of a scary moment, I think, and a moment where I wasn't sure if I was going to be playing rugby again. Sort of put the whole, rugby's a massive part of my life and has been for a long time, but it put it in perspective really quickly. And when I got the news that I was going to be okay and that there's a good chance I could get back playing rugby again, certainly made me appreciate the fact that I get to do this for a job and that I'm going to get to continue to play the game I love. Another proud moment for me was at the 2015 World Cup. I was aware I was behind the skipper at the time, Richie McCaw, so aware that I probably wasn't going to be getting too much game time at the World Cup, but there's a couple of games that I'd targeted and hoped that I might be playing, particularly in the pool stages. And it was the week we were playing Namibia, and Steve Hansen sort of pulled me aside and said, "You're going to be playing this week." So I was pretty excited about that. And then he said, "I want you to be captain as well." And at that stage, I think I might have been 23 years old. I don't think I'd even captained Super Rugby. Sort of really blindsided me.
What a big moment for Sam Cane, who becomes the 67th man to captain this iconic rugby team.
Didn't see it coming, but I realised the massive honour that came with that responsibility. I was lucky my parents were over for the World Cup, so I went out for a coffee later in the day with them and shared the news with them, and they were obviously hugely proud as well. It was something that growing up I dreamed of becoming an All Black, but being an All Black captain never really came into my head or mind. I was pretty overawed by the occasion, to be fair. Learned a lot from the experience, but yeah, it was pretty cool. On reflection, was thinking, man, they must see something in myself that I don't quite see in myself yet. I suppose that was a bit of a confidence booster. Certainly knew that I had a long way to go and lots to learn, and my goal had always just been to try and play well and play for the All Blacks and play really well when I got opportunity. And I suppose at that early stage of my career I was still just really focused on that. To get asked to take on the role full time post the 2019 World Cup was a huge honour, and it's always been something that I've never taken for granted. And the thing with leadership, and when you're around a team so often, you can't try and be someone you're not, because you're with the boys so much. They'll see through anything that isn't you. So I just try and be authentically myself, try and lead by example, be a good person and work really hard. I don't have to come up with the right answer, like it doesn't have to be my answer or my solution, as long as we get what's best for the team. So I like to think that I allow others to lead and contribute, and as a team we can get what's best for us.